We'll begin tonight in Plateau State, where 27 victims who were killed in Bindi, Jebu community in Briam local government area have been given a mass burial. The burial was barely 24 hours after 14 persons were also killed in another attack in the state. Arise News correspondent Douglas Francis reports. Meanwhile, the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum and Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed says only a transparent national convention would be the game changer for the turnaround of the party. Well, this came as the acting national chairman, Ambassador Umar Damagum, claims that some members of the party who initially joined the African Democratic Congress, the ADC, have started coming back to the PDP. According to Mohammed, only a transparent and successful national convention will help heal the party's self-inflicted wounds. He further stated that the party's history and logo has not changed over the years, a demonstration of its resilience. Well, for more on the expectations in the aftermath of the party's NEC meeting and the zoning of the presidency to the southern part of Nigeria, Debo Ologunagba, the PDP National Publicity Secretary, joins me now. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight, for finding time finally to join us on the news.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate the time.
It's so nice to be here.
It does look like things are going according to plan for your party. I mean, you finally had your NECs and they've been going smoothly. Can Nigerians finally, trust this time around that the PDP is back?
Thank you very much for having me, and it's nice to be here. I think the best way to start this evening is actually to remember as a party the sad commentaries of unfortunate death in Plateau State. In your reporting earlier showed 27 persons in a mass grave burial today.
Yes.
And then you reported about 14 women. 14 women.
Other people, yes.
Poor people coming in from the market, trying to fend for their families, trying to create a better life for their children. Now we have a government, the federal government, who has the responsibility for securing the life of these people, looking away and partying, as it were. It's a sad commentary. As a party, our hearts and heart goes to the people, their loved ones, people are orphaned by this reason. And it's a sad commentary for this country. And that goes to the issue about the failure of the IPC government and the basic requirement and obligation of a government provided in the constitutional section 14.2 that says the primary purpose of government is the security and welfare of the people. As a party, we again express our condolences and we wish them the comfort they can get from God, because that's where we are into. We seem not to have government anymore in terms of that. But to your point, for the PDP, what came out from the narratives you just read out, which are true about coming together, is the fact that the PDP is truly a party. It is not a Congress. Congress deal with their own and the members at the top. But a political party thinks about the people. And it's reflected even in our name, the People's Democratic Party. And therefore, when this conversation comes in, what we try to do is to put people at the middle of our own conversation. So when we have issues, ultimately, we take our step back and think about the people and about the democracy. So you're very correct. We're recalibrating. We're coming together. And we must acknowledge, for all times, the various organs of the party that were available for us to continue to get to where we are right now. The Founding Fathers, the Governors Forum, the NWC, the BOT, all had come together. And what you see is a reflection of what a party should be. We are organic, we have a constitution, we have our guidelines, we have our rules, and each time we have these challenges, they come to the fore and they help us to stabilize the party. And here we've come to stay, not just because of the party, for Nigeria, for the Nigerian people, for democracy, to ensure that the purpose of government is achieved. So we're back, we are moving forward, and this is the trajectory right now.
Interested. So let me ask you then, because in that NEC meeting, you spoke of internal discipline and even threatened legal action against your lawmakers who have recently defected. Yeah. And it comes just as your governor in Osun State and the workings of your party in Osun State openly endorsed President Bola Tinubu for a second time. Let me remind Nigerians and those watching us in diaspora who don't know, President Bola Tinubu is of the APC. You have a sitting governor who openly endorses him. It's not the first time we've seen that. We saw that with Akwa Ibom before he defected. So when you talk about discipline, would it affect Osun State as we speak? And why should Nigerians believe you that you're back if your governors can openly endorse the governing party?
Yeah, thank you very much. And I think this is an interesting conversation for Nigerians and for Nigerians in diaspora, because it's important, because they must begin to have a statement. We must have a country of law. We must have a country of the Constitution. And some of the communique from the NEC was a recognition of the fact that a lot of members in the state assemblies and at the national level have defected. But the good thing is the Constitution makes provision in Section 68 1G and Section 109 1G with respect to the state assemblies and national assemblies respectively. Because it is self-executory, that the moment you decamp from your party to another party while the tenure of your election still subsists, you automatically loses that. And the case of Abegunde versus Labour Party and NEC is completely at fault with this. So as a party, to say, look, you can't just not do this because you have a mandate of the people. And if you must leave, then you need to leave it. In any event, the Constitution provided for that. There's a Supreme Court decision that pronounced on this, and it is the case of Abegunde versus INEC and the Labour Party. So that's going on. Then to your point on the issue of discipline, that is the beginning.
So are you going to discipline the Osun State governor? Again, or are you asking him to leave your party?
No. You see, these are the challenges that we have in the Constitution. And we have opportunity about the possibility of reforming or probably amending some of those things. Now I go to this. Again, back to governance. There have been open expression of the president and the APC that they want to have a one-party state. Okay? And what they have been doing is to create tension, coercion, threat, intimidation of governors of the PDP, with particular reference to Osun State. For the past 6 months, the local government funds have not been released. That is no governance. That looks like terrorism in terms of terrorizing the governor, because the people of Osun State at the local government level are the owners of this money that ought to improve their lives. So what we're seeing is not people moving because of conviction about the fact that APC is better.
Saying they are being forced to move.
No, the coercion, threat, intimidation, because of our climate. If a government cannot pay salaries, then the people begin to say, wait a minute, what are we doing here? But I can't tell you this. Governor Adeleke was at the NEC yesterday. The statement, well, like he said, every politics is local. But he is a member of the PDP and he was at the NEC and has not declared. Declaration of intent is different from declaration of action.
Unfortunately, we need to go. We've also heard the president say when the coin was turned and he was being, intimidated by your party at the central, he stood the ship. He was the last man standing.
Correct.
He refused to defect. But we're not seeing that with the crop of today's politicians, including your governors. But we need to go. My producer wants us to go. But I need to ask you about your zoning to the south and why you moved your convention, elective convention, from Kano to Oyo State in a time where there are reports that Seyi Makinde is poised to be, who is the governor of Oyo State, is poised to be your flag bearer. But why zoning to the south?
First of all, there's a zoning committee So there's no zoning to the south yet. There's a zoning committee which was approved at
The NEC didn't endorse zoning to the south yesterday?
Zoning of what?
Of your flag, your presidency?
No.
There was no zoning.
We're party of process.
Okay.
Yesterday, the NEC set up two committees. The National Convention Planning Committee and, of course, the zoning committee to zone the position of the party at the NEC, which was the National Convention, which is slated for the 15th and 16th of November. It's at that meeting, after presentation, the next NEC meeting is on the 25th of August. The zoning committee will be reporting to NEC to say, look, this is our own recommendation. Okay. The NEC will take a decision, and that will become the position of the party. As to the venue,
yes,
we knew that after consideration, we considered where we have a governor that for logistic support and assistance to planning, we need a sitting governor. We don't have that in Kano. It has nothing to do with north and south. I recognize that in your preview, the commendation about that's not correct.
Okay.
We are united as a party.
All right.
It doesn't matter where we hold the convention. And in any event, to your point, Seyi Makinde is one of the most qualified persons to be president of Nigeria.
Great.
If he chooses to run.
All right. I mean, what can we say? You present the candidates, Nigerians vote.
Absolutely. That's exactly what
Ologunagba is the National Publicity Secretary of the major opposition party, the People's Democratic Party. Thank you so much for being here
Thank you very much for having me.